again, and I'm here with Lora Kermode. Before I go to her, you saw her video a minute ago. She has some proven techniques that I think you as very busy, successful parents should hear about something she's offering. But before we do that, I'm going to go into a little background. Seems like I've known her 10 or 11 years. Can you summarize, Laura, how we met and where your former teacher at? And, go ahead. Do for a couple minutes. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. So I had to do some digging to remember how we first got to know each other. But we actually was through a mutual or friend that Nanette was asking if someone that I may be able to share the Summer Algebra Institute you were doing with some of my students and see if they could benefit. So that's how we initially met. Oh my gosh, like 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. So yeah, and so I've been teaching in the public school arena for over a decade, teaching algebra and algebra intervention and algebra support, and in different schools in the two schools in the Los Angeles County area. And I've also done some work with homeschoolers and done some workshops for them. So, yeah.
Well, and where were you and how did you discover that most math students who are struggling with math, we have to try different ways? Where were you at? How did you discover that? Because when I met you, although I was very interested in teaching kids math, it was quite revelatory to me in that way. But go ahead. Just how did you figure out they needed more than what is traditionally thought? Go ahead.
That's a great question. Thank you so much. So yeah, when I very first started teaching, literally within the first month, I was following, the textbook, the curriculum. I'm a brand new teacher, and I realized a lot of the strategies that were actually in the textbook and just were widely used by teachers were really confusing the kids and causing greater confusion. And as you know, being a math person, there's certain concepts that if students are not strong in, their foundational concepts, if they are not strong in, they are going to struggle throughout the year. So as I kind of tried to teach, following what I was given, I realized very quickly it was not working. So I kind of deviated from that and started teaching with these strategies that just kind of came to me just with color coding and using a lot of colors, a lot of visual aids, a lot of kinesthetic movements, chants and some raps and some real fun stuff that the kids loved. And, brain research has shown that students learn better when the experience is fun and interactive and memorable. And so that's what I was finding. I mean, the kids I saw
more hands-on too, right? Like more of a
yeah, hands-on. Exactly. Yeah, just and keeping them actively engaged. And I mean, especially now more than ever with the, with the phones and all of that kind of competing for their attention, it's more important than anything to keep them just actively engaged the whole time so they don't tune out. So
yeah, I think there's going to be kind of a renaissance, a rebirth in those ideas you had so many years ago with our parents, because parents are so busy and they need another way to look at it. I want to ask you, I think I know what you're going to say, but it's my observation that there's a pretty significant group of youth trying to take pre-algebra and algebra that need this approach to get better. But it's a situation where you win-win, because I think that I have not met a student who wouldn't have fun with it, but even if they learn it another way. Have you seen good students have fun with it? I never asked.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I have a teacher who was talking about that, just how it can work for kids that really struggle with math, but it also can work for kids that are advanced in math. So because it's a colorful, different, unique way to teaching math, it helps a lot of kids, especially too, that are very artistic and creative. They love it. So I haven't met a student yet that didn't love it. So we'll see.
Have you ever tried some of those, I'm gonna call it kinesthetic math, I don't know what to call it, concepts in the classroom?
Well, I use a lot of, so basically a lot of my techniques are all focused around that there's lots of different learning styles. So there are visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners. So my strategies really get at all the different learning styles. And so kinesthetic is definitely one of them. And actually, just even the act of taking notes and writing is a form of kinesthetic learning. So like I'm myself, I'm actually a visual and kinesthetic learner. So whenever anyone talks to me, I'm sure you've seen this when we have conversations, I'm constantly writing notes, and it's just that's part of how I absorb information is actually through writing. So the actual note taking process is part of a kinesthetic movement to help kinesthetic learners. But also I actually do movement. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. That sounds really good. So my suspicions were confirmed about kind of how you got into it and whether you use in the classroom. But talk a
Yeah.
little bit about this video that you've produced. Talk about what it is, a little bit about content, and how it will help, how it could help students. Could you do that for a little bit here?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I've had so many um students and parents and people I've met say, I wish I would have had you as a teacher, when they hear how I teach. And I've done a lot of workshops, actually, family math nights and whatnot, where parents have been involved and they
Right.
come up to me sometimes with literally tears in their eyes saying, oh my gosh, like for the first time, I don't feel like I can't do math. I feel like I can actually do this. And it can be, life change. It really can for people. So basically I was doing a lot of in-person workshops for several years, and I loved it, but it's not very scalable, and it just takes a lot out of you. And so I realized there was such a need for this to be more widely available to people without me having to travel to them. So basically I was really guided to create these videos. It's mainly, this is the Algebra Basics video series. So this is all of the foundational concepts that students need to know and be strong in to be successful in algebra. So it's basically
Do you have the fraction stuff on this one? Is that another one?
not yet. That's coming up. Yeah, that's
I
coming
love the
up.
way you do fractions, but let's leave it alone.
Yeah, I know.
All right, go
That's
ahead,
coming up.
Go ahead
That's
anyway.
coming.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So it's the main focus is setting students up for success. And Fred Jones, I read, I don't know if teachers out there may be familiar with his book, Tools for Teaching. It's
Yes.
phenomenal. But he actually talked a lot about setting the students up for success in the beginning of the year, just even and well, I'm talking about for teachers, but also for parents, setting them up for success and getting them strong in those foundational concepts pays dividends all year round. So again, unless they're strong in these foundational concepts, and I'll list them quickly, the students will most likely struggle, and I definitely do not want that. So I want to try to prevent that as much as possible. So those concepts are, I'll just list some of them. I know you probably know them being a math person. Order of operations, operations with integers, simplifying
Definitely.
algebraic expressions, like terms, combining like terms. So if you talk to any math teacher, they'll usually say the kids just don't have the skills to do this. And those skills that are critical are what they're in these videos. So
Wow. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, Prince Review has a name for those topics. They call it the heart and soul of algebra.
okay, yeah. So and this is just, and the way I came about it is just through teaching kids and seeing what the majority struggled with. And that's how I saw which ones were critical and foundational.
So parents, this video is really great. It's especially important for you who know your youth is not as weak in algebra, whether you in our summer program and got better, but maybe you got a report from us not as good as it could be, come on the homework club. And you realize that you can't get in the homework club. I think you need to think about this product. We'll be putting it up on our website very, very shortly. In fact, my webmaster is putting it up now. And we're going to do a email to you, plus another video when it actually drops. But I want you to have a chance to meet Lora. And maybe I'll have Lora back. I want to ask her about some very concrete issues in teaching math itself, kind of geared at my teachers a little bit. I'm going to have somebody with us who's a teacher as well, but we'll do that later. maybe I'll talk to her first, then talk to this fellow I met who's here in LA. And I want to form a constituency of teachers that are helping each other teach math better. All right, so parents, thanks. Again, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the content we're doing. We're doing some very different things like I did today. I need to hear from you. Go ahead and comment. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, John.
Hey, anything I forgot that you want to say?
No, I mean, just to give a little bit of quick context where these were developed. I know we didn't really do that, but basically I taught primarily all the different demographics. Oh yeah, all different ethnicities, but the primarily Latino and Black students were.
Yeah, I
were the
know.
students
I know, because I took it for granted because you work with my students in the SAI here in Long Beach. And
Yes.
as I recall, they were all mostly Black, and in fact, that program was geared that way at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
your methods work. And I like it because parents, y'all know I have done videos where I don't like this business of thinking Black kids and brown kids learn math different. Come on, they can learn everything any other student can learn, and better if we expect them to do it and believe in them. Thank you, Lora.
I definitely believe in them. Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There you have it, parents. Like I said, I'm going to put it up on the website shortly. You can go to algebrasuccess.com now if you want. Check it out. And hope you enjoyed this video. Again, remember to like and subscribe, write comments. We're doing a lot of different types of videos. We will know what works for you, parents. It'll help me out a whole lot. God bless you now. Bye-bye now.